So from when I was a kid, the USA was always the one that we blamed, the one that was blamed.
So now, how does that? I mean, I know there is a resentment in Serbia towards the USA. How does that feel now? Now that you've come and you've lived in the USA and you're here. I mean, I know there's some. I mean, is there some sort of? I know in most and sorry, not in most countries, but in certain countries that I've lived in. I mean, I'm not going to take the attention off of Serbia here, but sometimes they resent you for leaving. In other words, we hate the USA, and now
And
you
then,
leave
yeah,
us, you're going to go live in the USA.
Well, I remember the first leaving, they used to call me an American, and how am I a traitor, and all the 9 yards. You know, everything that the kid of my age didn't want to hear at that time. That was just from certain people. But my friends were always there for me, no matter what. They still are. When I go to Serbia, they're always there for me. They're always with me, no matter where I live and who I hang out with, and they just don't care. A friendship is friendship, you know?
They don't care that you left to come to the USA?
No.
Some people do, though.
Some people, the people who actually don't have a choice but to live there are actually the ones that are hating. But let me tell you something.
It's more about jealousy and abuse.
From what our country has experienced, it became weak. From the country who was strong back in the day, like you said, Yugoslavia,
Yeah.
it became a tiny little country called Serbia, which is really, really weak and corrupt. The government, let's just say politics. Everything is just went down the drain. My personal experience, and the people that I talk to right now from the country, they're the ones that are saying, man, I wish I can leave from here. I have a couple of friends. One went to Russia. The other one came down here to the United States. And back in the day, those kids were the ones that were actually like, wow, the United States bombed us. This is total BS. You know? But right now, I have one guy living over here in Minnesota, another guy in New York, and one guy lives in Chicago. And I'm here.
So, what about your parents? I mean, do your parents ever regret leaving Serbia?
My dad is still over there, still a police officer. He's gonna retire when he is 52. He's 50 years old right now. My mom is 44, and she is with me over here. She works at a jewelry store in Aventura. She's actually doing pretty good, and she's happy that she came to this country. I mean, she always tells me the reason that she brought me to this country is to make a man out of me. To actually give me opportunities, something that I couldn't get from the country that I used to live in. I'm saying if those people who are saying, you know, like, oh, United States is bad, they're always putting their nose into everybody else's business, you know, we just don't realize as kids, yeah, I mean, that's what we hear. That's what we hear from the people that are actually hating on this country. But it's like when you come over here, when you grow up with like everything next to the sea, it's like a beach 2 miles away from your house. You got
in this area,
Miami. In Miami. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm happy I'm in Florida.
Not like that in Alabama or.
No, yeah, seriously. Anyways, you get possible from impossible here. When we think it's impossible, it's actually everything is possible. But you gotta be set right here. You gotta have it in your mind that if you actually want something, you need to chase after something. You can't always get on your knees and whine about it. You can't always look back at what was going on. Continue with your life, even though there was a war in the back, in past. Okay, I didn't experience from something that other people they have experienced, but as a child of running away from the bombs and listening, hearing those silent sirens, I'm not the one who turned into a criminal or you know, doing something terrible. I mean, yeah, I like to fight back in there. Yeah, I mean, I do train and did train judo, and I work as a security officer at the clubs. But that's more for like a hobby, not just because I'm, you know, screwed up in the head over here.
No, but actually, I wanted to touch on that, if you don't mind me interrupting.
No.
Is that a lot of you were saying earlier is that this probably makes criminals out of people, or it affects them psychologically. as where you were saying you just basically have to move on. You can't let it bring you down. And I've noticed that, if I say so myself, that you not only have you done security for certain, what were you saying? I think it was a UFC fight. I apologize if I'm mistaken.
I was holding my underground fighting club.
You're holding your underground, but you organized it and you held it yourself. Did you want to say the name of it or no?
It was called FSE.
Yeah.
It's what we call the Florida Street Elite.
Florida Street Elite. And when you were doing this as well, this was about high school time.
Yeah.
And as you moved into college, you did security in Fort Lauderdale, where the clubs were, like bouncing.
Bouncing.
And you also, I think, as I was saying earlier, weren't you a bodyguard once or twice or something like that?
I've done clients there and then. I was a driver a couple of times, and I was doing bodyguarding, like walking into the club, walking out of the club, making sure that the client gets close to the car without getting into any trouble or anybody attacking them.
And obviously, you can't say names, but these were popular famous stars.
Yes.
Because naturally, for people who don't know Miami, we do have a lot of movie stars and superstars that live here, so they frequent sometimes the clubs in South Beach as well as Fort Lauderdale. And you've worked in both South Beach and Fort Lauderdale.
South Beach, Fort Lauderdale. I even traveled a couple of times. I went down to Texas. I did a show over there for one of the famous DJs.
Okay.
And I've also traveled to Connecticut. Stayed over there for 24 hours, drove back over here.
This is a company that you worked for?
The company, I'm not going to say the company's name,
right.
But yeah, this is the company I was working for.
Okay.
Right now, from being into this business for a very long time, I've been in this business for about 5 years. I'm trying to start my own security company.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, maybe around November 2nd, November 3rd, and November 27th, I'm going to be closing the deal with one of the famous DJs that are going to be doing the show at the club in Pompano. So I'm looking forward to putting my own team together and actually working for that DJ.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And that's in security?
That's in security.
So going back to what I was saying, though, is you didn't go, whatever traumatizing, whatever violence you experienced as childhood, it didn't make you a criminal in adulthood. You actually used that sort of, fighting or violent upbringing to go into something positive like security, creating your own FSC, something like a UFC thing, and you organized it. It's basically, in other words, some people go out and shoot a gun because they want to rob a bank. Some people shoot a gun because they want to protect a child from a robber. Well, Marco, I'm really happy that you took the time to actually give me your own human experiences on this YouTube channel, or this TeacherTube and YouTube channel, actually. And I think that what you've gone through, again, as you said before, no one else really goes through here in America. They can only see what they have on the news, what they have on the internet, and sometimes you don't really get what it is to live in a place like that until you actually hear it from someone else who's been through it. You don't get the real deal or the real McCoy, for lack of a better term. So I'm glad that you actually took the time here. I'm glad that you turned your negatives into a positive. I got to know you. And again, I really appreciate your time here.
Thank you very much.
And actually, special thanks goes to Juan for letting me use his place.